How you
I
feeling
feel
right
righteous.
now? Damn.
I'm feeling good.
Feeling good.
I
Feeling
know what it
good.
is. I'm grateful.
Okay.
I'm thankful.
Love that. Love
God is
that.
good.
Pops, go, Carter. You should be the first one. Go.
You can't get too close.
Now let his kids go. Where's daughter?
MaxB just hit the streets again after nearly 16 long years locked up, fighting case after case. He refused to fade away, and now the wave is officially back outside. But not everyone's cheering. Word is, someone real familiar ain't feeling this comeback. And that someone is Jim Jones. Max coming home ain't just reopening an old story, it's reopening old wounds. The trolling toward Jim is already going crazy. It's barely been 3 days since Max got out, and he's moving like he never missed a step.
New York.
Yes, sir.
Fresh out the can.
Damn.
Over 18 stretch.
Damn.
They gave me 7 and 5.
You can't even scroll your phone without seeing him. One moment, he's in a jewelry store checking out new ice. The next, he's at a birthday turning up, then posted in the club, then at a Jets game like he never left. Max came home loud and proud, and he's loving every second. The wild part is, people are eating it up. This might be one of the biggest homecomings hip-hop's seen in years. Fans been waiting over a decade just to see the wave rise again, so the energy makes total sense. Max isn't just home, he's everywhere, making noise and grabbing headlines like crazy. He even popped the big question to his girl just a day after walking out, showing he's ready to start fresh. But with all that shine comes the chaos. A comeback this loud is bound to stir old trouble. Suddenly, all the usual talk is back. Old beefs, snitch rumors, jealousy, sides being chosen, the whole messy scene. And the biggest fire in the mix? That long, nasty feud with Jim Jones. Jim's been dodging Max's name for years, saying in interviews he don't want to talk or deal with him at all. In one interview, Jim straight up said, F MaxB. Then he tried to walk it back, saying maybe he could forgive, but never forget.
MaxB when he gets out.
MaxB.
Okay.
Max out of here. People don't play with me with that conversation. Ain't nobody can tell me nothing about that. That's the first thing I say. You heard?
Okay.
That's how you feel. That end the deal for anybody. There ain't no Max talking about conversation. Period.
Basically, the door was locked tight, but now that Max is back moving like he never left, it was only a matter of time before Jim's name got pulled right back into the mess. And guess who lit the fuse? Of course, it was 50 Cent. Nobody was surprised either. 50 and Jim been throwing shots for years, so the second Max touched down, 50 had his perfect moment to start clowning again. He jumped on Instagram and did what he does best, stir the whole pot. He posted that belly meme of Rico eating a banana, tagging him as Jim Jones, hinting that Jimmy was snitching. Then he threw his signature twist in the caption, writing something like, "Homie said Max home, it's packed in Harlem. Jimmy about to drop a dime on these dudes, LOL." And just to make it louder, he added a clip of MaxB on FaceTime with DJ Whoo Kid. After that, chaos exploded. 50 bloggers, hip-hop pages, and fans turned the comment sections into total mayhem. The tension between Jim Jones and MaxB was never just a small rap beef. It ran deep, personal, and got real messy. Back in the mid-2000s, they were moving like brothers, locked in the studio, chilling together, sliding through Harlem side by side. But even before the fame, Max had already lived wild. He had just come home in 2005 after serving 8 years on a robbery case. And when he touched the streets again, the world finally met Max Bigavelli, a name he built by blending Biggie, Machiavelli, and Jigga. Harlem was in a crazy era then. Dipset had the city on fire. Cameron, Jules Santana, and Jim Jones were running everything with non-stop hits that shaped a whole generation. Through Cam, Max linked with Jim, and the vibe was instant. Jim signed him to his Bird Gang label and paired him up with Harlem legend Dame Grease. That's when things took off fast. By 2006, Max dropped his first mixtape, $1 Million Baby, and it hit the streets heavy. His raspy voice, melodic flow, and wavy energy made him sound like nobody else out. At the same time, Bird Gang had another rising name, Stack Bundles. With both Max and Stack in his corner, Jim had a dream team ready to take Harlem higher. Max was the secret weapon behind the hooks and melodies that made Jim's tracks explode. Songs like Baby Girl turned straight into neighborhood anthems that still hit today. Soon, people started whispering that Max was the real mastermind behind Jim's whole new sound. And that's when the tension crept in. As Max's buzz kept growing, so did his street instincts. And those instincts ended up dragging him into a situation that flipped everything upside down. Back then, Max was dealing with his ex, Gina Conway, who told him about this flashy dude she knew, Alan J. Plowden, a guy living wild, moving dirty money through mortgage and mail scams. cruising in luxury cars, tossing cash like it was nothing. Gina said Max couldn't resist the come-up and started plotting a quick hit. The plan sounded easy. Pull up to dude's hotel room, grab the cash, and dip. Gina claimed Max pushed the whole idea, promising her a better life if she helped out. But when it came time to move, nothing went how they thought. Gina and Max's stepbrother, Kelvin Sims, actually went to pull it off, but the whole thing crashed before it even got started. They were supposed to hit the spot while Plowden was out partying, but everything went sideways fast. They got lost, missed exits, and ended up driving around for hours. By the time they finally reached the hotel in Fort Lee, Plowden was already back in his room, passed out next to another woman. Then things took a way darker turn. Out of nowhere, a man named David Taylor walked in. He wasn't part of anything. Sims panicked, pulled a gun, and shot Taylor in the face, execution style. Just like that, what was meant to be a simple robbery instantly turned into a murder case. And from there, everything fell apart. Gina got caught first, and when the heat hit, she cracked fast. She gave cops a 169-page statement, spilling every detail and pointing the finger straight at Max. According to her, he was the one who came up with the plan and promised her a better life if it worked. Once things went bad, she told investigators everything just to save herself. After that, the feds came down hard on Max. He got arrested and charged with serious counts, including felony murder. Even though he wasn't even at the hotel that night, his bail got slammed at a massive $2 million. Just like that, Harlem's rising wave star was staring at the rest of his life behind bars. While Max sat in that cold cell, time stood still for him, but the world outside kept spinning fast. The wild part? Jim Jones, the same man Max once called his brother, was suddenly everywhere. Jim had just dropped We Fly High, better known as Ballin', and it blew up overnight. The track became a worldwide anthem and the biggest hit of Jim's career, turning him into a solo superstar. But behind those prison walls, Max was hearing a whole different story. He claimed he was the one who actually wrote We Fly High. According to Max, he ghost wrote that hit, plus a bunch of Jim's biggest records. The hooks, the melodies, even some of the ad-libs came from his creative mind. So while Jim was on TV doing interviews, popping bottles and cashing checks, Max was in a cell watching someone else blow up off the very sound he helped build. After almost 10 long months locked up, Max finally caught a break. The judge dropped his bail to $90,000, meaning freedom was close, but he needed help to touch the streets again. And that's where things got grimy. Jim stepped in, but not out of love or loyalty. Word around Harlem was that Jim only agreed to help with Max's bail if Max signed over his publishing and promised to drop 6 full albums under Bird Gang. What looked like a lifeline was really a setup, but Max was desperate, locked up, and out of choices, so he signed. In that moment, Jim walked away with full control of Max's publishing, and Max walked out with his freedom. But his whole future now sat in the hands of the man he once trusted most. When MaxB stepped out of jail in July 2007, he wasn't the same man anymore. Prison changed him. The smile was still there, but behind it was a colder, sharper version carrying deep resentment. He came home broke, betrayed, and tied to a deal that stripped him of everything he built. But as his buzz started rising again, Max had a moment of clarity. If Jim wasn't gonna treat him right, he wasn't staying silent anymore. He was ready for war, not just for credit, but for respect, ownership, and his whole identity. Max walked away from Bird Gang and started plotting his next move. If Jim was gonna keep making money off his name, Max was set on letting the whole world know the truth. Nothing was off limits anymore. That's right around when French Montana stepped into the picture. Back then, French wasn't the superstar we know today. He was a Bronx street figure known for his Cocaine City DVD series, a raw, unfiltered look at real Bronx life. French already had tension with Jim after a shooting rumor created bad blood, so when he linked with Max, it wasn't just about music, it was about revenge. Together, they formed Coke Wave, and it became more than a crew. It turned into a full movement. These two were the underdogs aiming straight at the top from the underground, and they weren't scared of a single soul. Max didn't have label backing, but he had something stronger. The streets were riding for him. He kept dropping mixtape after mixtape, giving it all away for free so nobody could silence his voice. And he didn't stop there. Max turned his beef with Jim Jones into straight entertainment. Every interview, every freestyle, every public moment, Max was firing shots with zero hesitation. Max threw his first big punch with his mixtape Public Domain 3. The cover alone shook the city. Max standing in a graveyard next to tombstones labeled Millie, Jim Jones, and Vanilli Jewel Santana, basically calling them fake like the group Milli Vanilli. Then came the lyrics. Max rapped, "I know them dudes need me, I was giving them the loop, but them dudes dumb, blew it," making it crystal clear he felt he built that whole sound, and without him, they were lost. The record spread across Harlem like wildfire. Jim had the fame, but Max had the streets locked tight, but he wasn't stopping there. Max went straight for reputation, and one of the wildest moments of the feud came when he dropped "She Touched It in Miami." This wasn't just a diss, it was straight disrespect turned into a song. On the track, Max claimed that Jim's longtime partner, Chrissy Lampkin, had been with him, a rumor that sent shockwaves everywhere. He even rapped, "She sucked it in Miami while Bigavelli hid it from the back in her fanny," saying it like it was nothing, laughing it off while calling Jim emotional and saying he just couldn't face the truth. The city went nuts. Jim, on the other hand, was caught completely off guard. When Max started firing those public shots, Jim tried to play it cool, brushing it off like Max wasn't even a factor. He hit interviews claiming Max was just a bitter, washed-up rapper who never made it, just another dude who couldn't handle the game. Jim kept denying that Max had anything to do with "We Fly High," insisting he wrote his biggest hit himself. But the streets weren't buying it. Old reference tracks were floating around, and Max's voice was all over them. Slowly, the talk started shifting. Fans began wondering how much of Jim's success, even back in the Dipset days, came from him versus the people around him. Meanwhile, Max wasn't slowing down at all. He was moving like a man built for pressure. He even started saying the beef wasn't just music, it was real-life energy. Max claimed there was a moment when Jim tried to ambush him in a parking lot, blocking his car with a Bentley. According to Max, he saw it coming, slammed the gas, rammed Jim's car out the way, and even threw a few punches before speeding off. French Montana and others close to Max backed the story, and soon the whole thing turned into Harlem legend. This wasn't just rap beef anymore. It was a full-on street saga. Then, in November 2008, things hit another level. Max and French decided they weren't just talking anymore. They rolled into Manhattan and walked straight into the building where Jim was recording, ready to show the city that Jones wasn't untouchable anymore. Max later claimed that when Jim saw what was going down, he called the cops. Whether that was real or not, just saying it was enough to wreck Jim's street rep. In that world, being labeled a snitch was the worst look possible. And the talk around Jim switched up fast. Not long after, their crews ran into each other again at a Brooklyn club, and chaos broke out. Chairs flying, bottles smashing, cops and K9s rushing in. The whole place turned into madness. When the dust settled, Max had done more than just beef with Jim Jones. He flipped the entire story on it. Jim became the punchline. People started clowning him, while Max turned into a cult figure, a street legend who didn't need a label to stay loud. But while Max kept feeding fans with new music, the law was catching up fast. His old hotel robbery case had finally come back around, and when that verdict hit, it shattered everything. Max got hit with a 75-year sentence, and the hip-hop world froze. Fans couldn't believe it. It felt like the wave was wiped out before it even reached shore. While people mourned, Jim Jones looked like he was quietly celebrating. From Jim's view, it felt like the ultimate win. Max was gone, his voice silenced, and Jim still owned his publishing. He thought the war was over, but by May 2010, everything flipped. A judge ruled that Jim had zero control over Max's music. The court said Max met all his contract terms, officially freeing him from Jim's grip. Then came the real shock. Max's 75-year sentence got chopped to 20, then down to just 12. Bit by bit, light started creeping back in. And after all those years, the man who built a whole wave from behind bars finally came home. And the internet went wild. The moment news broke that Max was almost home, controversy exploded again. And just like before, the same words started echoing. Snitching. Anytime a rapper beats a heavy sentence, those rumors pop up. And this time, the one stirring it was none other than Wack 100. Wack jumped out claiming he had paperwork, proving Max cooperated with law enforcement. In a Vlad TV interview, he said he had documents showing Max met with authorities and shared info that helped cut down his original 80-year sentence. Wack even claimed Max gave up details about a woman tied to the case, where she worked and all that, saying it helped him get less time. He went even further, hinting that people close to Max confirmed it and teasing about some video evidence that could expose him. But here's the truth. Nobody outside Wack has ever seen a single piece of that paperwork. Even Wack admitted he never met Max, never talked to him, nothing. So fans called it for what it was, straight up clout chasing. At the end of the day, Nobody really cared about the rumors. People were just hyped to see Max home, smiling, and finally living again. Now that MaxB is officially back, the question is, will he jump back into the music scene? And will this new generation show him the same love the old one did? Yeah, the game's changed a lot since he first touched down, but the streets never forget their legend. For now, Max is just soaking it all in. The freedom, the love, the energy that's been waiting for him all these years. If you rocked with this story, don't forget to like, drop a comment, share it around, and hit that sub. Catch you in the next one.